Good morning, class. This mini lesson focuses on the Unit 8 individual project. I'm going to go through an example of how to complete this project. After watching this short lesson, please reach out to me if you do have any questions. So, from our course homepage, we're going to click on Unit 8 and scroll down to the individual project assignment details. Click there, and there is a tutorial on how to submit an individual project, which is very similar to what you did to submit your Unit 4 individual project. But the main things I want to focus on for today are these two new links that focus on the Unit 8 project specifically. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click here to download your assignment. And this is going to download an Excel document or an Excel template where you're going to enter in all of your work. The other link is the U.S. Climate Data website that you're going to need to select your hometown or your dream city, and the hometown or city you select is going to then provide you with average high temperature information for your city. And so you're going to need to use these two links. So if I click the first one to download the assignment, we will get something like this. And I have filled this out to get us started. But you're going to see a template like this. It won't obviously have the information I've typed in. So we'll go through this piece by piece. But the other link you're going to want to click on to get started is the U.S. Climate Data webpage. So I've got it right here. I clicked on it, and it came up Omaha, Nebraska because that's what I'd clicked. If you click on the United States link up above, you can click on any state in the U.S. So say you want Texas, say you live in Texas or you dream about moving to Texas, and you would like to live in Anthony, Texas. So you click on that, and it brings you January through June is in the first little table, and then July through December is in the second. So you can either just copy this information by hand over to your Excel template, or you can do a little bit of copy and paste. So once you select your city and you get all the average high, so we just need this first one, the average high degrees for January through December, you're going to transfer it to your Excel document. And what did I do with that? Here it is. And so in the template, you're going to, very first thing, save it to your computer. So click on File, Save As, and save it to your computer so you don't lose any of your information. And then everywhere in blue, this might have been blue to start, I'm sorry if it was, you're going to enter in your information. So my name, the date, and it says cells shaded in blue are the cells in which you should enter information. So I identified Omaha as my city of choice, and then probably this was blue to begin with, but I copied and pasted, and so when I did that, it changed the format. So this was all the average high temperature information I got from that website. So you can type it in by hand, or you can copy and paste. So whatever works for you. Now, if you were to copy and paste, it's probably going to list it horizontally because that's what that's what the website showed. But you can do a transpose if you want to, or you can just paste it over here somewhere and then kind of transfer it over into this table. And so once you get all of your information typed in there for the months, then you're going to actually come down here to step 3 and you're going to do your calculations. So what I've done is already entered the formulas to try to show you some neat, quick formulas you can use in Excel to help you with your calculations. So the mean of your data, the average of your data, you're going to have mean, median, mode, and range. So those are all the measures of central tendency. So for the mean of your data, notice when I click over here in my blue box, I have a formula that pops up in my formula bar because I entered this in. So in this first box here, in this first box, I click the equal sign, which says I'm going to use a formula. And then I use average, and that gives me the mean. So the average is how you calculate the mean. I hit the open parentheses. I go up to the very first data point, and then I take my mouse and I scroll down to highlight all 12 of my temperatures, and then I close the parentheses and hit enter, and I get the mean. For the next measure of central tendency, the median, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click enter, I'm going to click median, which gives me a median function, open parentheses, click on the 32, scroll down all the way through my temperature in December, close parentheses, hit enter. Now for the mode, remember mode is the most commonly listed data value or data values. You can have more than one mode. The reason I got NA here is because if you look at my list of temperatures, I don't have a temperature listed twice. So I don't have a mode. If I would have had November also being 36 degrees like December, if I would have had November equal 36, now I get a mode because I have something listed twice. But the way that my data actually came in, I do not. So it says NA, that means there's no mode. And so for this one, I have mode single, but you also can do mode multi, and that's going to allow you to catch maybe multiple modes if you have two values that are listed more than any other value. But again, it comes back NA because in my data set I don't have a mode. And then for the range, notice what I have up in here. I clicked equals and I had to find the max value, and then I had to subtract off the minimum value. So the range, there's not just a nice easy range formula. I wish there was. But basically all you do is hit equal, and you want the maximum value in your data set, highlight everything, and then I just click subtract, and I do the min, and I go back up here and highlight everything again, and it gives me the 56 that you see down here. So that's how you find your measures of center. And then the next thing it asks you to do is to create a graph. So I just wanted to show that really quick. To create a graph, I'm going to highlight my data, so all the months and the temperatures associated with them. I go up to the Insert tab at the top of Excel, and I click on Recommended Charts. So when I do that, you're going to see that it brings up a few charts. And I chose a bar chart, and notice it just created it right away for me. And then you can put your cursor over that, and I can move it. So I can move it down to this gray area where they ask us to put the chart. So I'm going to delete the second one, but this is how I created that chart there. So it's just Insert, Recommended Graphs, pick the bar chart, or you could do a line graph if you would prefer. And that's what goes in the chart. And then finally, step 5 and 6 ask you to answer some questions. And so that's really just you typing into these two boxes. So remember, with measures of center, if they ask you which is the best one, I have some little information here, but mode is only the best choice if you're dealing with categorical variables, which we would not be in this case because we have temperatures, which is, it's numeric, right? So it's quantitative data. So you're basically choosing whether you think the mean or the median is the best. And the mean is the measure of center that is affected by outliers. If you have crazy far pieces of data that are far different from all the rest. So the mean is the best measure of center when there's no outlier. The median would be the best if you do have an outlier. So if you're asking, well, what's an outlier? I created kind of a new made-up chart over here, a temperature chart. And I kind of fudged my numbers a bit from what I started with on the left for Omaha. And I just said, what if like January was 32, but look at all of the other months. They're all 60s and above. So an example like this, definitely January would be an outlier because it's so far different from any temperature, average high temperature for the other months. So probably not realistic, right? But I just wanted to show you what an outlier could be. And even if it was probably like 40, it'd be very different from the rest. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Save your work and then upload it to the individual project.